Today, we go back to Lost Ark. I'm going over the most important things a beginner could know for Lost Ark launch. And after playing every single region, these are things that I think are the most important. Some of my old heads might remember these OG guides from the streaming days, and don't worry, boys, we're back in full force for Lost Ark. Because I've seen a few of these pop up, and honestly, they come up short. They just target brand new people. I'm targeting new players and vets that haven't played in years. And this is going to be the best countdown any of you have ever seen before. But before we light this off, I have to thank every single person that has been subscribing lately. You just got me to 1K the other day, and some of the things you guys say, you're beautiful. Thank you so much. I promise I'm always going to do my best for you. My name's Claysthetics, and we're running right into it. Popping in at number 10, the combat system. Be you new or old, this has always been the main attraction. And with the tripod system, it is top tier. When you take a look at a level 1 skill versus a level 10 skill, you really get the vibe that anything could be top tier. Not only does the damage go up, it drastically changes the entire ability, and every single ability in the game can be made powerful. On other regions right now, you can just click what the best skills are, but in NA, I don't know if that'll be in on launch. What you're going to want to do is probably find a good build guide, because min-maxing when you're in group content so you don't let your team down is probably one of the most important things you can do in the game. I will be popping up my favorite builds for every character in upcoming videos, so make sure you watch out for that. Because honestly, this game has the best character building system in any game I've played, because it actually makes you feel rewarded for investing in your character and getting more skill points to make those abilities stronger. Number 9. And this is just the most quality of life tip I could give to anybody playing this game. And it used to come up all the time when I was streaming. Auto run is T. Just press T. You can rebind it if you want. Doesn't matter. It is going to be a game changer. Auto run seems simple. Most people forget it's in the game. Most people never even know it existed, which is honestly, that kind of sucks. And when you're in the ocean, you can alt left click to set waypoints so that you can avoid all the dangerous areas on the map and AFK, because there's other stuff to do other than wait for your boat to get somewhere. Number 8, strongholds and housing. Honestly, this is the most important thing on the list in my opinion. It just ended up at number 8 because some of the things are a little more interesting than it. For PvP players, this isn't going to be a big deal. You can mostly ignore it, but after ignoring it on other regions, I plan on going full all in on NA because it helps your gear progression. It gives you like discounts and boosts. It looks amazing. You can customize it a little bit. There's so many things and nuances with the housing that really just make the game a better experience all around, and you really should not sleep on it. And honestly, one of the best ways to start it up is just gather like 50 of everything on your way to looter when you get your first house, and you'll be able to start an upgrade right away and just go right back into questing. Again, I got another video coming out about that a little later on. Look forward to it. But coming in at number 7, we have leveling and gear. And the biggest mistake when I see people leveling is they get hung up on reading items, seeing if one thing's better than another. All these guides I see like focus on stats when you're leveling. Stop it, dude. It doesn't matter. Item level is going to let you gear check and overmatch all the mobs around you and just let you one-shot them. You're going to be spam salvaging and replacing all this gear. So don't be a pack rat. You can mass salvage everything you don't have equipped. It doesn't matter. If it's even one item level higher, it's simply just better in every single situation, because you are literally going to go so quickly through these different zones that you're going to be spam replacing this gear like it's nobody's business. It's really not a big deal, and if you're putting too much focus into it or worrying about it, you're probably not going to enjoy leveling very much, because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. And just a quick tip for dungeons, you can queue the normal mode solo and pretty much run through it by yourself in like couple minutes really quickly, like all of them, versus like some people that are saying only do the hard modes, get the best gear. Well, if you do the hard mode of the first dungeon, the zone after it replaces gear from random monsters. Why do it? Doesn't make sense, right? Like it's crazy. Number 6, collectibles. All the collectibles in the game are account wide, family wide, server wide, however you want to put it. So it doesn't matter who you get them on, just make sure you're getting them. There's some super important ones, and I plan on maxing out all of these zones on NA. I never even wanted to do it on another region because it is a grind and a half. Any region with a skill point potion is mandatory. You have to get these because they are the biggest power spike to your character. Number 5, meta build. Now, since the game has been out for ages, there's builds that have just been meta forever. Skills get buffed and nerfed, but there usually is just the same set of skills for the characters basically since the game came out. But since there's so many skill points in KR, these new builds that came out have to descale their builds down to the amount of skill points that we're going to have. Now, on launch, I think you get like 267 when you level all the way up. And then it's super important to go out of your way to get all the skill points so you can start maxing your build out and making your character insanely strong. I really do recommend going and checking out some guides, getting a really solid build, because you're going to feel exponentially stronger. It's not like it used to be where you needed a PvE, a PvP, and another PvE build, because when you go to PvP, it has its own system, its own build, its own everything. So you can have your mobbing build and your raid build, and you can be perfectly fine, even as a free to play player. And I think this is one of the best changes that they made since the games came out because you used to need a different build for everything. And it is so much easier just to play your character the way you want it now. Number three, the cash shop and what to buy. This seems to be insanely controversial because nobody knows if it's going to be super pay to win. Nobody knows if it's not, right? And if you do know, it's under NDA still. So, like, don't leak it. You could actually get in trouble. But in all the other regions, you could just like swipe your credit card and progress. And that's cool, but it's not my vibe. But you are going to be able to be ahead of people for like a weird flex and just like get to tier 3 faster. But the faster you prog through everything, the worse experience you have because it just gets limited and time gated anyways. So you can go through it at whatever pace you want to enjoy the game. And that's what I'm going to recommend to everybody. But in the cash shop, there's like multiple packages of like what you can buy. Personally, I bought the silver pack. I'm not a huge fan of this legacy founder outfit for like Berserker and Sork, and I don't really like it on them. So when you start looking at all these other event outfits and all the cool stuff from like, Valentine's Day, Easter, the summer festival, winter, like Halloween, all these outfits are amazing and they're so well done. So when I take a look at this, I'm kind of like, I'd rather just load crystals up and buy a cool outfit then kind of spend extra money and get one now because the silver pack has most of the good stuff you get in the platinum pack anyways. And I know this is something a lot of people are talking about. I do actually think it's worth buying, but I know a lot of people really hate Amazon and like I kind of preach that a little bit myself here and there in the one or two videos. That's not for this video. What's really all about is if you get the 3-day head start, it is going to be like a massive like boost if you are PvEing. If you aren't PvEing, it it doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't. Hopefully that helps you make your choice on what you want to buy. You got my personal opinion, but I'm also kind of cheap and I just like don't want to spend like $130 on something that like doesn't really do anything for me when I could just buy the silver pack and then like $100 worth of whatever premium currency they have up and buy the stuff I actually want with it. But number two, questing. This is basically for everybody, and most people forgot, but it's orange, blue, purple chain. And the chain is like a yellow quest, but it's not a normal yellow quest. It's a chain quest that gives you one-time boosts. Normal yellow quests are basically worthless other than giving you like the ability to talk to people better. Sounds silly, but you'll learn about it soon enough. It's just a whole system. It's just another system in the game and they also give you completion. But while you're leveling, yellow quests aren't really worth doing until you hit Ardentine, which is like the desert area in the game, because they actually start giving valid EXP if you just want to get to 50 there, and you do want to be hitting 50 in Ardentine before you go to Burn, so that way you don't get gated on your quest line. I'm talking about purple quests, usually these give you insane monetary gain, and they're actually really worth doing all the time, and you should never skip a purple quest, ever. They're always worth something, and they'll always put you ahead, and they give you one-time boosts as well, just like the chain quests. Make sure you're doing these. Blue quests are offshoots of the orange quest, kind of just like objectives to point you in the right direction. And the orange quest is basically like the collect the 7 arcs and finish your arc so you can save the world. I think that's what it's all about. Really, I don't know. The game hasn't been in proper English in a long time, so I guess we'll see if we watch the cutscenes this time. But that's that's probably not going to happen again, is it? And finally, number one, the most important things to worry about max level. When you actually hit 50, there's a million things to do, and it is extremely overwhelming, but not in the bad way. It's a good overwhelming where you actually want to play more of the game. I like that. But the main things you're going to focus on, no matter what, your opponent dailies. Make sure you do your opponent dailies. Alt J, pop this menu open. There's rewards for doing so many. Each daily's worth 10 points. So you're really going to want to make sure that you do these every day. You can do 3. I guess you can buy a 4th one. But like you can do 3 initially, and you want to make sure you do at least 3 every single day. Personally, I think you should target upgrading materials and shilling. And if you're just PvPing, just target shilling. All the other stuff doesn't really make a difference. Just make sure that you're doing these dailies every single day. After that, chaos dungeons, you can do like 2, maybe 3. I don't know what they're doing for NA. Guess we'll see. But these are also like mandatory. If you want to progress your gear, make sure you're doing your chaos dungeons every day. Don't sleep on them. It's quick. You can blast through them solo if you want, and it's the same reward as doing it as a group. Really not a big deal. And then finally, Guardian raids. These are also daily capped. They're called Guardian Hearts. You spend them, you do your raid, and then you're done for the day. And that's really it. But now for all my real motherfuckers that always stay through the whole thing, you got that extra tip. Because you know I love you the most. And this is really min-max your character's build. I'm actually going to just put a video out where I just briefly talk about them, and it's just going to have slides of character builds. I did this on previous regions on my stream, and it was really popular. It helped a ton of people out, and it's really just like a min-max. This is what your build should be when you're leveling. This is what your build should be when you're maxed out for each thing. Super worth actually taking a look at and actually being a part of, because it really, really will make a difference in the power level of your character. And there's a lot of outdated guides out, and I am going through right now trying to find what the top people are all using and then trying to descale the builds. And there are some guides that are really good. I think Maxroll GG has some good ones, I'm pretty sure. And as long as you're using something like some kind of guideline, so you don't end up picking like troll skills, that's good, because some of the skills got nerfed very heavily since the last time we played, and things are just a little bit different since the last time a bunch of us played on Korea. So make sure you enjoy the game first and foremost. Make sure you stay beautiful, blessed, and safe out there, because I want to see you in the next one. And on top of that, don't forget to like the video. It's the only way YouTube knows I exist.